Hello, my love. My name is Mia, your mystic therapist, and I am here to explain to you how psychic gifts work, how our psychic senses work. So, I'm speaking to you from a place of not someone who has only studied it, but someone who is a psychic medium, who is clairvoyant, who is clairaudient, who is clairsentient, who is claircognizant, and who also is telepathic. I do experience telepathy not only in the spiritual realm, but I experience telepathy on this plane too. My angels tells me things, my spirit guides tells me things, God, the goddesses tell me things, right? It's just a message that comes like a download in my head, right? And this thing is, a lot of you guys understand it, but because years ago certain people came came over into certain parts of the planet, and they demonized everything that was very natural and normal to a lot of us, right? And called it evil, called them witches, and killed them, burned them, raped them if they didn't believe in their particular spiritual practice. It was shunned, so they may call it deja vu or something like that. But to be completely honest, this is very natural and normal because we are all spirits living a human experience. So let me explain to you a bit about this, right? How does our spiritual gifts work? First, you have to understand that I am inside of my body. I'm connected to my body. My consciousness is connected to my body. My soul is connected to my body through an energetic cord. But my soul and my spirit is bigger than my body. So if you can just see me right now, look at me. This is my beautiful physical vessel here. And then if you can imagine that there's a larger me energetically around me, right? And so with that being said, on this earth plane, I have the sense of feeling, hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling, right? My spirit body has those senses as well, right? So the first gift that I'll talk about is claircognizance. Claircognizance is clear knowing. So I don't, if you're someone who just knows things, you're like, I don't know how I knew that. Like, well, claircognizance is just, you just know things. It's, I don't know how to explain the way it works. It's just like a download that drops in your intuition, and you're just like, huh, you're going to eat a blue chip right now. I don't know. It works in so many different ways. So just like you know stuff in your physical brain on this reality, like, oh, I know the answer. Your spirit knows the answer too, for people who have the gift of claircognizance. So how else can I explain it? I feel like it just, to me, it just makes it so simple. So I hope that you understand that. It's your soul's knowing. It's like your brain's knowing here. It's your soul's knowing. But the thing about our spiritual gifts is they're more potent than our physical gifts here, because our physical gifts are very limited to this physical reality, right? So I can interact with my physical body on this earth plane, but I can interact with my spiritual body on this plane and multiple other planes, right? Which for me as a medium, as a medium, I exist in this plane, and I'm very consciously aware of my existence in the spiritual plane at the same time. That's why for me, even though I'm looking at you, if I'm doing a reading and I'm looking at something here, I'm also looking at a spirit, an ancestor, or something like that in the spiritual realm. So let me tell you more about that. Now, the second gift that I'll tell you about is called clairvoyance, right? Clairvoyance is, as y'all know, we have our third eye, which is right here, our brow chakra. So if I close my eyes right now, if you close your eyes right now, think of a unicorn. 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 See a unicorn. Do you see the unicorn? Your eyes are closed though, so how do you see it? Do you see the white fur? The white body? Do you see the fluffy tail? Do you see the way that it's galloping in the grass? Do you see the way that the unicorn was galloping? Do you see like the pink, little snouter thing? When you close your eyes, you can see. That's your third eye. When you go to sleep, you can see, right? That is called clairvoyance. So when you imagine, you visualize, you can see with your eyes closed. You are seeing through this eye right here. It's called your third eye. So people who have the gift of clairvoyance are people who can see things in their third eye. Right? So for me as a medium, I can be physically sitting here talking and reading, doing a reading for my client, and I can see their ancestors. I can see their spirit guides. I can see angels, and I see them in my third eye. Right? So next we're going to go to the gift of clairaudience. So clairaudience is all about hearing. So just like you hear my voice right now, imagine if I was quiet. And I know that some of y'all experienced this before. You're quiet, but then you hear something in your ear. Like maybe you hear a high-pitched frequency. Some of us here who are clairaudient, you might hear a high-pitched frequency or a ringing in your ear. And you're like, why is this happening right now? But no one else can hear it. You're hearing into the spiritual realm. You're hearing your angel. You're hearing the presence of, I don't want to say an entity because I don't want to scare you, but it can simply just be your angels, your ancestors, or your spirit guides. You're attuning to the frequency of the spiritual realm when you're hearing those ringings, right? But the way that I experience clairaudience is when I am doing a reading for a client, and if their ancestors or their spirit guides come through, not only can I see them, but I can hear them. I hear them in my spiritual ear. So for me, it's like when I'm doing a reading, it's like I'm in another room. I'm in this room physically in my body, but psychically, I'm in another room with their ancestor, and I'm seeing their ancestor and everything they're doing. They're telling me things, they're talking, and I can hear them there. And because someone that I'm reading for, they're not clairaudient, they may not be able to hear them, but because I hear them, I can hear them, and I tell my client what they said, and then my client's like, oh my gosh, like, wow, like that's exactly, you know how it is when you're a medium. It's like, yes, that's what they said. That's what they always say. That's how they say it. That's what they do. And so that's the way the clairaudience works. You hear spiritually with your spiritual ear. So remember, my body, my spiritual body, my spiritual self, because I'm in tune with my soul, is hearing in the spiritual realm. There's so many other spiritual gifts, and I could talk about telepathy a little bit. I had a client yesterday ask me what telepathy is. So for me, when you meditate, when you go into the spirit, when you do a guided meditation to connect with, a goddess or someone like that, you'll hear them talking, but they're not moving their mouths. How? It's called telepathy. You're communicating with your consciousness. You think the word and the person can hear the words, right? It's communication of the mind. It's communication with your spiritual mind, right? We are more than just these bodies. The world is more than just this physical earth, right? There's so many other spiritual gifts that I can cover, but I prefer to do that in a course for y'all. Because there's so many. And if I made that video, it would take a very, very long time. But that is how spiritual senses work. Our physical senses, we're in this body. Our spiritual senses, we're hearing things in the spiritual realm, right? And remember, everyone here is a spirit. Well, everybody on the earth doesn't have a soul, unfortunately. But most people do have souls, right? And so that's why no matter how someone's presenting, when you're an empath, you can feel how they're really feeling, because your spiritual body, your soul, is connected to their soul. When they're in your presence, you can feel their aura, so you can feel their feelings. I'm clairsentient. So one more gift I'll talk about is clairsentience, clear feeling. So I could feel how other people are feeling, no matter what they're saying, you could be jumping for joy, smiling, wearing yellow, screaming to the top of your lungs. But if I'm near you, I can feel my heart start to hurt. Why? Because this person's heart's hurting. I can feel your heart break in my own heart. I'm an empath. Deep, deep empathy. Finely attuned sensory nervous system to attune to your empathy. That's called called clairsentience, right? Clear feeling. I can feel how people feel about me. So every single emotion that everyone hears, that everyone feels, is a particular frequency and vibration. So when you're clairsentient, you can sense and feel with your feeling body, your emotion body, the feeling and vibrations of another person's emotion body, and you can interpret it, especially when you that's why for us we need to spend a lot of time alone so we can feel our own energetic bodies, because if you're always feeling everyone else's body, it could be a little confusing as to what is theirs and what is mine, right? So yes, with that being said, I hope that this makes sense to you. I think it should. It's very, very simple. You just have to be willing. If you are willing to expand your mind and open your mind, because obviously if you're watching this video, it's because you must have some psychic senses, darling, right? You wouldn't be watching a video about having psychic senses if you didn't have no psychic senses. A lot of us do on this earth. A lot of us do. It's just tuning into your spirit and your soul, getting to know your soul, feeling into your soul, feeling into your spirit. And then you will be able to, understand what I'm saying a little bit more deeper. And once you become aware of it, that's when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? And so you were ready for this information, and now you're watching this video, right? So if you want to start working with me, the Mystic Therapist, I am a creative arts psychotherapist and counselor, as well as a psychic medium, a tarot reader, a diviner, a candle maker. So I do have, a lot of magical items, a lot of books to help you to understand the spiritual realm, mental health, things like that on my shop. Click the link below, and I would love to be able to assist you and validate your experiences. Because one thing that I'll share before I go is when I had my first spiritual awakening, and I'm going to record this video so you can watch it. Give me a couple of days and just look for the video that says my first spiritual awakening. I saw a therapist, honey, because I was like, why do I keep dreaming of things and then they happen the next day? Or why do I know how everyone's feeling no matter how they're presenting? And my therapist said to me over and over again, because I came from a Christian and Jehovah's Witness upbringing. I was just like, what? She was just like, Mia, I think you're psychic. And if you don't get control over it, it's going to keep taking control over you. And she said that 6 sessions in a row. And eventually I just had to accept it because things were just too coincidental. It was too much. So I would love to be that person for y'all, because if I didn't have her, I'd have been like, what is going on? And I know. I would be like, are you okay? Like, people could be smiling. I'd be like, are you okay? And then they would just start crying so hard. How would you know? I don't know. That's how it was for me in the beginning. It was confusing. So I understand where you might be. Like, I really do. I went through it when I was 22. Fortunately, fortunately, I have evolved, honey. And so, yes, with that being said, I love you so much. I hope you have a wonderful time. Please drop 4 hearts in the comment box. Like, comment, subscribe, send to someone that you know. And we will talk soon. Bye.